I'd like to share with you today on topic how to sell, and what it takes to be successful in selling. I got a few notes from a podcast which I listened to from Bedros Keuilian, and I think it's quite helpful, and I will go straight into it. So first of all, he thought before that he was a very good salesman, and he was also a personal trainer, and he sold a PT program to one of his clients, and he was saying, "Look, oh, I sold you this and this," but his client said, "No, no, no." He said, "You didn't sell me anything. You just took the order." So he took the order like being a waiter, but you were not closing me in a proper sales technique. And he was like, "How come? I just sold you half a year of beating." He said, "No, you didn't, because I already had that intention anyway. Or what you did, you just told me about your program and I basically agreed because I was already pre-sold anyway. I already wanted this." So that really clicked in his mind that, okay, he wasn't actually selling before, he was just taking an order. So Bedros technique for selling is very simple, which we probably heard before. That means number one is a problem. Okay, so you need to see people's problem if they have a problem, and everyone has some kind of problem. Once you identify the problem, you're basically going into the agitation phase where you steer the pot. That means you talk about if they don't fix the problem, what are going to be the consequences of not really addressing it, and how much pain is it going to cause them. And then obviously you are going to offer the solution. So this is not new. We all heard this before, but he then goes on to talking about role play. So you should be practicing this with someone, and you should have kind of different roles and trying to actually sell it to that person just to practice it, because you practice the time under tension. Okay, so the other person will have all sorts of excuses and so on, and you need to find a way how to overcome this. He also talking about we are not selling, we are actually becoming an assistant buyer. So when you obviously talk through this selling process, you are basically becoming an assistant buyer. You're not selling anything. What does it cost you if you won't do anything about that problem? So again, I already said that you need to really steer it up, and you need to ask that person, what does it cost you if you won't do anything about that problem? We need to steer the pot. Do I have your, so another thing is very important. Before you actually even start, you need to ask that potential buyer whether he is going to give you a definitive commitment that he doesn't need anyone else to be in present about this consultation, because the most common excuses by the end of the kind of consultation when you're trying to close is that they would have an excuse that they need to go and ask someone else. They need to ask their wife, or they need to ask their business partner, or another one is very common that they need to think about it. So you need to ask them at the start of it, commitment that they're gonna give you by the end of this consultation a definite answer. So you ask it basically at the start. Next one is be careful to not talk yourself out of sale. Instead, let them talk so they actually talk themselves into the sale. Okay, so this is very important. Many times people talk too much, the salespeople, and they say things which actually make those people think that actually that's just basically really unnecessary information, and it's just too much, and eventually they realize that they don't want that product because of something what you said, because you're just talking too much. Instead, you want to be listener, very good observer, very good listener, where you let them talk. So they actually talk themselves into the sale. What is next here? Build a confidence and belief in your product, and then if they don't buy it from you, they are going to waste it elsewhere. So this is very important. You need to believe in your product, and you need to build a confidence in your product, because if you have that, you go from the position of real belief, and that's being felt. That person feels that you have real good confidence in your product. So that's another thing. Okay, so another thing is obviously showing the value, but the best way of doing this is to doing a dramatic demonstration, okay, for people to see. So people are pre-sold when they already kind of coming up to you. So dramatic demonstrations can be done by the videos or something, but you need to have already happy clients being filmed, and just tell to the world how good your product is and how that worked for them and how great results they got. So believe in your product, and if we don't sell them to them, someone else will sell it to them, and they will sell something what they don't need. Okay, you need to have a really huge belief in your product. Yes, that's pretty much it. I hope that's helpful.